Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Jakin.Off. It's me, Jake. This week, our guest is none other than my very good friend, very funny comedian. It's Dustin Slentz, everybody. Give it up for Dustin. Come on, let him hear it. You can find Dustin on Instagram at Dustin Slentz. That's where you can find all his stand-up dates. You're going to see his little funny little clippies. They're so funny little clips. And you should go see him. You should go follow him. He's great. I love you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Love you too.
As always, you can follow this podcast at Jakin.Off.Podcast. And you can send anything at all to Jakin.Off.Podcast at gmail.com. We'll look at it at least once. That's the Jakin.Off guarantee. This episode, we talked about the scourge that is gambling, and specifically gambling on your cell phone. Boy, did I go down a depressing rabbit hole.
We got Chumba-pilled.
Yeah, we got Chumba-pilled. It's I like to call it Chumba theory, is what I'm laying out here. And I do just want to I should have thought about it closer to when I talked about this probably, but just a small trigger warning. I talk about some kid who's trying to commit suicide at some point in the thing, and it's kind of abrupt. So figured I'd give you a heads up on that if you don't want to hear about somebody getting so deep into.
But also, we dissed Drake harder than Kendrick did, so you gotta listen to the whole episode for that.
We did go fucking in on Drake at the end. He's coming for us.
He's about to be Draking off, dude. After he sees this episode, he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the intro. So thanks for tuning in to another episode, and have a good listen to the episode.
Oh, won't you take off with me? Oh, I know it's your fantasy. Oh, won't you take off with me? Yeah, we're taking off every week.
Yeah, dude. Okay, we're changing the subject. Everything that happened before this doesn't even exist anymore. This is the new beginning of the podcast. I don't know if you knew this, but I kind of view you as the sports correspondent of Jakin.Off.
Oh, okay.
Ever since
of this podcast, that's fine.
Ever since you guessed the score of the Super Bowl correctly.
Thank God we didn't air my last prediction.
Which, that was the 2023 Super Bowl? 2024 Super Bowl that you guessed correctly. Chiefs versus 49ers.
There you go.
Yeah. See, dude, that's why I need a sports correspondent. But I kind of view you as a sports correspondent. And today we're going to be talking about something that's sports related.
Okay.
And it's also, dude, it goes deeper than that, of course. Right.
I'll answer your question. I think it is disrespectful to wait till Pete Rose died to put him in the Hall of Fame, dude. I don't care if you bet on games.
They're putting him in the Hall of Fame finally. I do think that it's like fucked up to like hold him out. But dude, actually, Pete Rose, perfect person to bring up right now.
Okay.
Because today, what we're going to be talking about is sports gambling, but as it relates to like some other stuff. So I figured you'd be a good person to come on. I know you sports gamble occasionally. I don't know the extent to
occasionally.
You're a daily fantasy player. I know that, right?
I'm not a daily fantasy player, but I am a daily fantasy player.
But were you doing it when it was like still operating in
before
that
it was cool?
Like exactly. No, for real. Like in the loophole. Like when they
daily fantasy is like lineups. You're not like betting on outcomes.
Right.
So that was like the loophole.
They consider it a game of skill.
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's fantasy sports. All these guys, these fucking nerds, these dorks, these losers, they have no life.
All these dipshits, bro.
They spend their entire time.
You're only dorks and losers when you lose. And I lose a lot.
But, there's some skill involved, right? Yeah. And, I mean, to be fair, there is some skill involved in sports betting as well, right? Like, you can have like a leg up on somebody else who's betting if you know more.
If you know ball,
Yeah, if you know more ball, right? And so we're gonna talk about that today. I kind of have I kind of have a bit of a
My
bit of a
DraftKings ledger would
lined
tell
up.
you I, in fact, do not know ball.
Yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to ask first. If you're comfortable sharing, like, what's the most money you've won, if you like at one time, or if you're comfortable sharing, dude?
$400, $500.
Okay, yeah, like a perfectly reasonable amount because you're not betting.
Not
like
betting a
your
lot.
house. You are a person with self-control. You know, I know
Yeah.
you pretty well. We're good friends, and you have a lot of self-control. If you were gonna say,
Dude, if my parents were watching right now, they'd be like, what? Who is Dustin hanging out with that he's the one with self-control? He has to quit comedy now. We got to save him, dude. He's almost 40.
you're a conservative, reserved
Oh,
guy.
God. Okay.
I'm kidding, but you know, you're like I guess I'm saying like I've never seen you exhibit like an addiction to sports gambling. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, maybe that has to do with the fact that like it wasn't around as accessible when you were like in your formative years. Would you agree with that? Maybe like, do you think that you could have developed more of a like addictive relationship with sports gambling if it was like you were 20 years old and you could place a bet on your phone?
If DraftKings and the Trump moment happened 10 years sooner, I'm a goner, dude. I'm living in the woods, dude. It's over for me.
You lose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is kind of it's I don't know. It's interesting because I did a lot of research over the last week or so, 2 weeks, about this. I learned some stuff that I didn't know, and I scared the fuck out of myself. I'm pretty scared for the future of society. So we'll just
on a sports gambling level.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I would say like not just sports gambling, and that's what we're gonna kind of get into because we'll get into it. But we'll start with sports gambling, right? So, you know, kind of what we were touching on, right? There was the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act of 1992 that effectively outlawed sports gambling in the United States. So the only places that were allowed to do it were places that already had sports gambling, like sanctioned laws on the books. Nevada, right? Las Vegas, like places where you can like bet on the horses, like that kind of shit, dog tracks. You could still do that, but like back in that time, even like a lot of the major sports leagues were sort of against the idea of gambling because they viewed it as like it threatened their legitimacy, right? Like they're worried about these scandals. A Tim Donaghy situation, the scandal still came because gambling was still happening, right? Like it didn't just make it go away, but the position that these corporations were taking then was, we don't want this.
Which at least had the optics of integrity,
right?
At the very least,
yeah. If we just start getting in bed with gambling, it's gonna like make us look like we're bad guys. Like we might be up to no good.
Like maybe there's some predetermined outcomes.
yeah. You know, and so that was sort of the position that they all took. And critically, like what we were just talking about, this bill, PASPA, the act that outlawed sports gambling, it didn't include fantasy sports. So fantasy sports were considered a Brett's gonna spray his cat.
I saw him getting the water bottle. I was like, "Is that for the cat, dude?" Scram, bitch.
It's for you, Dustin.
But it didn't include fantasy sports, right? Those are considered games of skill.
Well, that was just a mere fantasy at that time.
Yeah, exactly. And at that time too, it was exactly that. It was, you would do it with your office. You would play in a fantasy league with your friends. Low stakes, you know, everybody's putting in $20.
And it wasn't like a 3 or 4 part parlay type of bullshit either, right?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a 3 or 4.
No, dude, I would bet 3 of my friends at the same time, and I would make them make a pact that they all had to pay out if I beat them all together.
Smart.
I think that, yeah, it was not sports betting. It's different than sports betting, but daily fantasy is also, I would say, a lot different than playing in like a fantasy league.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm getting at here, right? Is like when they wrote this law and they were like conceptualizing like fantasy football, they're like, well, that's just something that some pals do together. Like, we're not gonna, you know.
Yeah, did you know the CIA injected fantasy football into white communities?
Yeah,
they got us, bro. And they broke us.
And they also, around that time, would have been doing the remote viewing for the Ark of the Lost Covenant. Did you see any of that?
I read the headline and I was like, I don't have time for this. I was really stoned.
We're not going to get it. We don't have time for it right now, too. But go down that rabbit hole.
I'm gonna.
It's a pretty funny time.
I'm gonna have me a nice little Saturday,
dude. So yeah, basically, they didn't see FanDuel coming, right? Like they didn't imagine that. And then eventually, right, the fucking .com bubble, technological era, where we're at now. The Supreme Court in 2018. Basically overruled the outlaw of sports gambling in a case that was Murphy versus the NCAA, which I don't know if it's the same one that got NIL approved or not. But
yeah, I don't know the suit, but I'm Team Murphy, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm Team Murphy.
Anyone that's up against the NCAA.
Yeah,
the
NCAA is a pretty dastardly organization.
They're like FIFA level corruption. It's insane.
Yeah, it's they're not good guys, right? Like.
Yeah, it's very nice for them to be pretty much irrelevant now.
It's pretty gross. But, you know, basically immediately all the leagues were like, okay, it's fucking sports betting season. Like, you started to see partnerships.
Missing the boat, dude.
Yeah, they all got on board because they're like, here's the cash cow that we've been waiting for.
The NFL is never going to miss the boat. And when the NFL is on to something, the rest of the leagues follow.
Yes.
They're like, okay,
100%.
do what the NFL is doing.
Yeah. And like right away, you started seeing like all these like advertising campaigns, especially a lot of states started legalizing this during COVID. Everybody's like inside. Sports were one of the only things
Yeah, dude,
that
they
we
cared
had
about
to
us
do.
and our mental health. They were like, they're all
They're
locked
like,
inside. We got to give them
"All
something to do.
Yeah, let's let them gamble.
If the NBA is done, we're going to be like, yeah, that's why they put the bubble up, right?
Well,
just for everyone's humanity.
I mean,
sanity.
they did it because of money.
Well, yes.
I think that a lot of people were appreciative of it because like, for me, at least, I was like, at least I can watch like some sports or something like that. I wasn't gambling, but
when sports came back.
Yeah.
Like, and of course, I'm going to bring up NASCAR, but they were like the first thing to come back, right?
Yeah.
And they had missed a bunch of races. So they started doing races on like Tuesdays and Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And there'd be, instead of once a week, there would be like 3 NASCAR races a week. They were just jetting around. Like, we're getting it done. I would just be sitting there on Wednesday like, how am I watching that? COVID rules, dude. I love a pandemic.
What did they bring it back in 2020?
Yeah. They were the first sport to come back like live, I believe.
Yeah. So, but exactly. They, like, right around this time, states started legalizing gambling. All these ads target young men. Like, a lot of it targets young men. That's the whole demographic. It's the two main reasons are just like young men make up the biggest demographic of sports fans, and also people under 25 are more impressionable. It's like way easier to convince them to
That's why
participate.
ESPN Bet never took off, dude. They chose Andrew Tate, and it's like, you're Disney. You can't be Disney and Tate. And so now no one uses that app.
Disney and Tate. The Disney Andrew Tate crossover, dude. Yeah, so here's we'll watch this quick video. This is about the gambling ads. This is
It's
from
gonna pop over here.
Yeah, it's gonna pop up over there. This is from Canadian television, but they've had legal sports betting in Quebec.
We don't have to stop on that, you know.
They've had legal sports betting there for a lot longer than we have. So this is just a little news outlet coverage.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Katie Kelly.
And I'm Maria Pano-Palace. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, an unsafe bet.
If you've watched a televised sporting event recently, chances are you've been urged to play the odds.
Children as young as 8 are reporting sports betting addictions, and as CTV's Paul Hollingsworth explains, some advocates are worried the message to make a wager encourages the wrong audience. Paul.
Well, Maria and Katie, it would seem the voices that are speaking out against these ads promoting online gambling and betting are growing in numbers. And it's safe to say some of the points these people are raising are becoming more difficult to counter. Sports celebrities are flooding airways and digital platforms.
Trying to practice here, Wayne.
Using their name and fame
Nets that way, bud.
To entice fans, young and old, to participate in online sports betting.
Gretzky, what's up, baby?
Gaming legislation varies in most Canadian provinces. The only legal sports betting in the Maritimes is overseen by Atlantic Lotto. But in Ontario, anyone who claims to be of age can place a bet on almost any aspect of a game.
It is degrading the sport.
Carl Subban.
There's a child sitting in front of a computer, like, making sports bets.
I don't like how they just villainize the athletes and let Jamie Foxx off the hook, dude.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think that, you know, I think that the difference between Jamie Foxx and you know, Wayne Gretzky, though, is that, like, Jamie Foxx, like Wayne Gretzky is somebody who children are going to be way more predisposed to look up to than Jamie Foxx. A kid can't understand Ray. You know what I mean? A kid can't understand the movie Ray.
But Any Given Sunday is as big as any sport. Like that movie.
Might be fair.
He's in the sports zeitgeist.
I definitely think that he is not above reproach here. And that's sort of the problem, though, is like these gambling companies have cast such a wide net, right? Like they're fucking really bringing everybody under the tent.
They are not fly fishing, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's kind of part of the problem. But this is PK Subban's dad. PK Subban, professional hockey player, very good. And this is his dad talking about, you know, what he thinks some of the issues with sports betting are after this kid in front of the fucking computer is so
Dude, this is
funny.
my new background. Send me this.
He's
Send me
like
that link.
literally got a fucking bunch of sports bets pulled up. And I also love the idea that the news...
Nah, did I recognize that website? That's Doge.gov, dude. I know that when I see it. It was built on Zynga, you can tell.
I love the idea that the news came to this kid's bedroom, or like, you know, this might not even be in his bedroom. It looks more like a family computer room almost.
Yeah, dude. It's got the speakers.
Yeah, and they came there and just took a little B-roll of him placing sports bets. They're like, all right, we got to find a kid who's betting illegally, and then
They couldn't fix the lamp, dude.
yeah,
For the
it's a
shot.
little
Look at that crooked ass shit.
fucking crooked ass lamp ass motherfucker. Okay, but here's PK Subban's dad.
Of a game.
It is degrading the sport.
Carl Subban, father of former NHL defenseman PK, has joined a campaign to ban online and TV ads across the country. This comes as problem gambling for youth aged 10 to 24 is on the rise.
The part of the brain that is responsible for decision making is not fully developed until you're about 25.
Psychologist
It also stops being
Dana
developed when you
Bagley
play hockey.
says
He's worried about the brain, dude.
Dude, that is a common thing, right? Is everywhere that this stuff, like everywhere that there's the most lax laws on this stuff, they're like, yeah, all these 8-year-olds can't stop sports gambling, dude. There's a story that I read doing research for this about this kid. So I also learned,
Dude, we're going to have DraftKings on our elf bars, dude. It's going to happen.
probably, dude. It's you shouldn't have said that. We got to cut that out, dude. They're going to steal that idea. We have to cut that out of the
I swear to God, if
podcast.
they steal the idea and don't pay me.
Copyright 2025, Dustin Slentz.
Yeah. Copyright.
Yeah, that's how all production works. Yeah. We clapped.
Yeah, dude, but it's exactly, dude. That's what it feels like. They're fucking, they would love to do that. The only thing that's stopping them from doing that is that society hasn't gotten that far.
Yeah, it's not their
yet.
conscience.
Yeah,
should we do this?
Yeah, exactly. And so this, you know, they'll go on to talk about how sports ads, they're targeted to these young people. It's a problem. Yada, yada, yada. We get it, dude. We get it.
Whatever, bro.
Right. I think that for me personally, how I feel about sports gambling specifically is just that, yeah, like there should be more regulation around like who they can advertise to, how they can advertise, that kind of stuff. I think it's too prevalent. I don't think that it's good to like be shoving this stuff into the faces of kids, which is ultimately going to happen. If you're doing it on sports, your dad, there are dads out there that have to explain like what a same game parlay is to their kid. Like
I've heard the argument that it should just be illegal.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what? No, this is.
I don't think that it should. I don't necessarily think that
we
it
have
should
freedom
be
here.
illegal.
But then the guy was like, no, listen, like, you should have to go to a casino. You know, yes, we're a free country, but sometimes you have to drive 30 minutes to get freedom. You know, and I was like,
I am happy that you brought that up, buddy, because what we're going to talk about next, you know, as I'm sure you're aware, right? We live under the ruthless thumb of capitalism, and the number one rule, the number one rule, right?
He who has the gold.
The profits got to go up. The profits have got to go up, dude.
Yeah, you can't just have a good year. You can't be like, that was a great year, guys. Like, well, it has to be better next year.
Yes, and for these...
And who would have thought that wouldn't be a sustainable model? I was working in a warehouse at a Fortune 500 company. Like, well, it can't just always get better. They're like, shut up, keep working. I'm like, all right.
Dude, exactly, though, right? And one of the common issues that these sports books have is when they have to have their earnings meetings, I was actually just watching a clip of the CEO of DraftKings talking to
He's like,
shareholders.
we actually have a fiduciary responsibility to target children. It's for the shareholders.
He said to them, he was like, the winners won a lot this year, and so that, like, we didn't have as big a profits as we should have. Because we are, sports betting, for better or for worse, is like, you can win. Like, there are ways, if you know ball, if you know like the ins and outs of gambling, you can come up with like sort of a winning
ball, or
betting,
you can act
betting strategy.
Fast. Like an injury happens, you jump on it before the line changes.
Right. And so it is one of the aspects of a casino that is a little more prone to like losses and not. But that's why, like you were saying, casinos here, you got to drive like 30 minutes. To get to them. And what if I told you that's all going to change? Like, it's already changing, but it's going to change.
You talking about
completely.
the casinos and gas stations? Those are fun.
So kind of, and we'll get into that a little bit too, but I'm talking about iGaming. Are you familiar with what iGaming is?
Only iRacing.
Okay. So iGaming is essentially, it's the idea that these apps want to bring anything that you can do at a casino, it's going to be on your phone. Slots, poker, blackjack, roulette, everything, dude.
You just made Dustin's day.
They're working on it right now. I'm going to play a clip.
I'm going to go home and play roulette and watch this Facebook argument unfold. Dude, it's going to be great.
Dude, so it's legal in 5 states. Right now, I think it's like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Michigan. You can log on to like DraftKings Casino. It's like in the app. You can click on DraftKings Casino and go play blackjack and stuff. This is a clip of this in like, it's called the DraftKings Life podcast, and it's people who work at DraftKings.
Bro, I was in Columbus and I was like walking downtown, and I got a notification from DraftKings. And it's like, you haven't like bet in a while. And I was like, yeah, I never set that up. Like, what? This isn't how that's supposed to work, you know? And I put my phone back in my pocket, and I'm walking in front of DraftKings like sports bar. They have a DraftKings sports bar.
Oh my
probably,
god!
Maybe
Geofencing,
coincidence,
dude. No,
yeah.
Geofencing, bro.
Right? Yeah.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's set up to do that.
It's wild.
It's not
bro.
a conspiracy. That is like a thing that
insane,
dude. If you so like I use Google.
I want to know the percentage of people that works on. They're like, huh? DraftKings beer.
I think we're gonna get into that later in the episode.
Okay.
It's we're not.
I think we were just talking about it beforehand. Type of where if you haven't bet in a while, they're aware and they want you to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With the VIP liaisons.
Oh, did you lose last time? How about a free bet, baby? This one's free.
Have you heard of the VIP liaisons, dude? Where it's like, if you're somebody who bets...
They're like hot chicks. They're like, you should bet again.
It's even worse. They're like businessmen. They're like hot businessmen, dude. And they reach out to you via email, and they go, hey, we noticed you haven't bet in a while. Let's get you out to a game. Like they'll give people free tickets to games and put them in the
because they know people are like, that was like a $200 ticket. I could just bet $200 now,
dude. And they'll put them in the DraftKings suite and like set them up with all this free like swag and stuff, and they'll give them credits to bet with on DraftKings and stuff. Basically, like the people who are the biggest losers on the site, the like people who are spending the most money and losing all the time, they become the VIPs of the website. And they do everything they can.
It's a meritocracy. I like that.
To keep them betting, dude. And likewise, on the flip side, if you win a bunch, they'll just straight up kick you off. Like they'll be like, "We don't want your action." It's like if you're a really good blackjack player, you know how to count cards, whatever.
Yeah.
And you go to Vegas and they catch you doing it. They send your face to all the casinos, and when they recognize you, they come up and they go, "Get out of here, pal.
Dude,
we don't want your action here."
I was playing blackjack one time. It's my first time ever like playing. I'm sitting next to this dude. He's really nice. He's kind of like teaching me the game and like, hey, yeah, don't hit or stay. Like, hey, the dealer's probably gonna bust. You're gonna piss her off at the table if you hit. Just like give me little pointers, you know. And probably sat next to him for like a little over an hour. We're on our second dealer, and he's just crushing. He's winning. And then they have another dealer change. So it's our third dealer. So it's not like he's leaving because of a dealer change. New dealer comes in. He stands up. He's like, have a good night. I was like, oh, you just like know when to walk away like that? He's like, no, I don't play against Asians. I was like, whoa.
Oh, my God, dude.
Whoa, dude.
That is insane.
I was like, that's awful.
Good God.
Dude, it blew my mind. I was like, that's crazy.
Okay, so yeah,
he's not like the casino has it rigged. He's like, it's the Asians, dude.
This is,
they're running their own racket within the walls.
This is exactly what gambling does to your brain, though. So here is this is from the DraftKings Life podcast. This podcast is something between like a PR.
Okay, this podcast should be illegal.
It should be, and this is something between like a PR campaign and like a recruiting tool that they have, because they have.
I was gonna be like all phony and shit.
Its employees come on and talk about what it's like working at DraftKings, and the lady who's talking in this clip that we're gonna watch, I clipped it out. She's in charge of like iGaming, like this new frontier. The CEO has called it the crown jewel. So this is like they love this shit, dude.
Yeah, so iGaming to me, just in general, is accessibility. So where legalized, we are able to offer customers this game of chance. And that can refer to, yes, sports betting is kind of encompassed in that industry term and that title, but it's core casino. It's also bingo. It's also poker. So any online game that a player can play that's a game of chance is really like the realm of iGaming. And when I learned that DraftKings was taking DFS, which is a game of skill, over to creating a vertical that is a game of chance, it was super exciting to me. And it encompasses all of the games that you actually can find in a land-based casino. And we have the opportunity, especially with our game studio, to create new variants of games, bringing these games to customers that they can bet on while focusing on fair play and responsible gaming is everything that my team is about. And I'm really excited just to see what the future holds and what there's more to come.
Yeah, do they want it to be fair?
Dude,
they want to make sure that app is fair for everyone.
One of the most common things that I notice with the people who work for these companies is no matter what they're talking about, they use the words fair play at some point whenever they're talking about it. But it's never like the point of what they're saying. Like it's never the main focus.
No, it's like
they
the
go, and of
buzzwords
course we fair play, we support fair play, that kind of thing. They clearly did a huge cut in the middle of this that is obviously.
She went a little off script.
This lady said something where they were like, "Well, we can't put that on the internet." You know what I mean? Whether it's because they don't want FanDuel to hear one of their great ideas, or because they're like, people will.
Dude,
that.
Bet on your Geek Bar. It's a good idea.
Bet on your Geek Bar.
I'll sell it to the highest bidder. FanDuel, ESPN Bet, DraftKings. I don't care,
dude.
bro.
But it is. That's kind of what she's talking about a little bit, because the whole thing that she starts with is it's about accessibility. She's like, we want every game of chance you can play on your phone and bet real money. Accessibility, dude. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game with this shit.
It's also really funny that she said, oh, we took all the games of skill and turned them into the game of chance.
Yes.
It's like, oh, so if I'm good at something, now it's risky if I'm good at, like...
Yeah, well, dude, yeah, exactly. And we're gonna, dude.
This, like, corporate speak bullshit drives me so
you guys
crazy.
You're
Because at a certain level, once you either are, like, I can't afford my rent or I have kids, you just have to lie to yourself and say that what you're doing is moral. And you just have to start talking like this.
Yeah,
you just have to like forget who you are as a person.
You can't like tell anyone the truth.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like shoot somebody straight.
Yeah.
It's insane to me, and I don't understand it. I don't understand. Well, I understand it, but I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone is so accepting of it as like the norm. You know what I mean?
I think
like,
it's exactly what you said at the beginning. It's the thumb of capitalism.
Yeah.
Like we're all on the treadmill and we
Yeah.
have to keep going. And like we don't have time to comprehend morals when we can't pay our rent. Like we just have to.
Exactly. We're all preoccupied with distractions.
Yeah.
And so, okay. You guys you're really picking up what I'm stepping.
Yeah,
in,
dude.
right?
Imagine what she's doing in Gaza right now.
So before we get more into the weeds about how much money these corporations stand to gain from this, because I would like to hold that information until the very end, because I think that it's going to be pretty fucking crazy. We're going to talk about slot machines really quick. So you're familiar with slot machines, surely. You talked about the ones in the gas stations. In like you were saying earlier, right? In most U.S. states, access to gambling, access to casinos, access to these slot machines is heavily regulated. They can only be in specific places where casinos are allowed to operate. In our area, they have to be on riverboats, quote unquote riverboats. But like the gambling can only happen on the water is basically the idea. And
it's so funny, dude. Like no gambling here, and they're like, we're on the water. Like got us. Shit,
like,
they got
that
us,
ain't
dude.
the land. It doesn't make any sense, but the reason why it seems so arbitrary and sort of the idea behind that is to make it so that there's not access to gambling at like every corner.
Right.
Is really essentially the point. And you were talking about the illegal like gambling machines that you see in like gas stations and stuff like that. Those are they're illegal. They kind of operate in like a legal gray area at best. In most places it's like
That's
a
where I
legal
live, dude.
gray area. But like if at any time the authorities decided they wanted to crack down on those, they could. And that happens all the time. Anybody listening to this podcast, if you live in the United States, you can go online and search the name of your area and illegal slot machines, and there will be like local news stories about them busting these gambling rings and stuff like that. So that's all that to say is like the relationship to gambling in the United States is, how did that guy put it? Sometimes you got to drive a little bit for freedom, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to drive 30 minutes for freedom. That's how it was up until the sort of...
Just to be clear, I was paraphrasing, and that's my line.
Yeah. Okay. yeah, that's Dustin. That's just how it's been here. But there are other places where it's not like that. There are other places where gambling is far more accessible, and culturally it's like more accepting. Have you ever been to Australia?
No.
I've never been to Australia either, but through learning about gambling, I learned that Australia is like ground zero for like gambling issues, apparently. Like it's like a massive problem there because traditionally it hasn't had the same social stigma. Gambling doesn't have the same social stigma. Casinos are a lot of times like, we think of like bar districts, that are surrounded like centered
like
around
prisoners
drinking.
And cast-offs, right? Like, it's kind of like our Native Americans. Like, of course they're gonna gamble and drink, dude. We took everything else from them.
They like in their bar districts, the main stays are like casinos.
Okay.
Like there's big casinos in their city centers and stuff of their major metropolitan areas. And then slot machines apparently are fucking all over the place, dude. Like in Australia, slot machines are in most bars. Like it's harder to find, the way that this one lady described it, it's harder to find a bar that doesn't have slot machines. Like
Okay.
that's more like that's the rarity.
So
right?
if I see a movie that takes place in Australia and they don't have a slot machine in the bar, I'm like, that's not authentically Australian.
That is my understanding. Hey, if you're listening to this and you're from Australia and I'm fucking getting it wrong, shoot us an email. Shoot us an email, Jakin.Off.Podcast @gmail.com, and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Give us the lowdown on Australia.
Yeah, give us the lowdown. We've been needing an Australian correspondent.
And it would be awesome if we found one of our listeners.
Somebody
was
to go around there. That would be so sick, dude, if you could do the accent. Send us a voicemail with the accent. Anyways, yeah, they're all over the place, and they call them pokies, which is, I think, sort of cute. And
They call casinos pokies?
they call slot machines pokies.
Okay.
So, because you poke them, dude, you just sit there and
Gotcha.
like fucking hit the button. Here's an article, or here's a quote from an article in The Guardian that is called "How Australians Became the World's Biggest Gamblers," and this is just about a little Gamblers Anonymous meeting that this journalist attended. So, as the GA members tell their stories, the sheer number of ways to break gamble-free streak of a day or 6 years or 20 becomes clear. You can gamble on your phone in pubs, clubs, and sports betting shops. You can bet on sports, politics, reality TV, horses, greyhounds, harnesses, and poker machines. One man says he is proud of himself for exercising.
Wait, you can bet on other people betting?
I probably, if I had to guess, you probably could.
$20 says he's about to lose 200, dude.
You can watch
Dude.
Big Brother or Survivor and bet on that.
Yes. Yeah, you can. One man says he's proud of himself for exercising again, even though it means walking past several places every day where he could gamble. Attendees have lost marriages, gone to prison, gambled away their homes, lost their jobs, families, friends, and suffered drug addiction. One woman, 6 years gamble-free, has spent the week watching her brother gamble his $40,000 of retirement savings. A man of 21 has already tried twice to kill himself. When Mary, whose name has been changed, was in her 40s, her husband, then 50, was diagnosed with early onset dementia and motor neuron disease.
Her name's been changed for the article?
Yeah, her name's been
Is there
changed.
a bookie after her?
Dude, probably. That's the sad part, yes. Soon he was living in a nursing home. She started stopping in at the pub on the way home from visiting him. The pub had poker machines, so she started playing, and soon she couldn't stop. She had given up paid work to look after their children, and when her husband died, she sold one of their houses to make ends meet. Suddenly, she had a lot of cash on hand. Mary started staying at gambling venues until the early hours of the morning, leaving her children, the oldest of whom was 18, the youngest 6, to feed and look after themselves. Eventually, the Department of Community Service removed her children from her care. Sure, it's banning advertising that will make a difference. She isn't sure that banning advertising will make a difference, There are always ways to gamble on every corner, she says. It's everywhere. 4 of her children have since returned to her care, but her eldest daughter, who looked after her siblings when Mary could not, has still not forgiven her. So just a little insight to like how prevalent of an issue this is for people. Most of these guys, most of these people who are talking about this refer to it as like a public health crisis. They're like, this is as bad as, the opioid epidemic.
It's an addiction.
Like,
it is.
and it works the exact same. So
Right,
like
yeah.
if you, obviously I'm not like a fucking neuroscientist or anything. Can you guys believe it?
No.
Can you guys believe I'm not a neuroscientist? But I've at least done a little bit of like rudimentary
But you've seen
research.
Jordan Peterson live. so
I've
you
seen
get it.
Jordan Peterson live.
We have to stop gambling
The
and be
gambling's
men
just like
again.
heroin.
We have to be men again.
Heroin and gambling are the exact same. I won't be quiet about it. Yeah, I've seen Jordan Peterson live, so I get how brains work, and and there really is not like a big difference between being addicted to a substance and being addicted to gambling. They affect your life in the same way. And the other thing is that research consistently shows that low-income areas and areas of high rates of problem gambling go hand in hand.
Right.
Like in Australia, gambling machines are more common. So like all these pokies, they're more concentrated in areas that have lower median incomes. And the people, on average, in those lower income areas lose almost twice as much as the people in the high income areas. So what it means is that this is just the only thing that it is. Do you need to?
No, you're good.
You need me to spray? Oh, she's in the window. Whatever, dude. It's whatever. It's good.
She's cool, bro.
Cat in the
He's-
background.
yeah, he's just looking up. I'm afraid he's going to try to plow straight to the top of the
That'd be
lawn.
sick to get on camera, though.
You know what? It's true.
But what it basically means is that like all these pokie machines that are everywhere, they're just a transfer of wealth, right? Because the money that is lost to them like exceeds exponentially the amount of money that's won.
They've fucked over the middle and lower class so hard that now they have to like find new ways to addict them to things to keep extracting their money.
You're
Keep that transfer of wealth.
exactly right, dude. And that's critical to understanding like why this stuff is so difficult to get rid of once you have it. Like once it becomes accepted and ingrained, once the machines are in the building, it becomes really tough to get them out because these people will cling on to it for dear life because they've now just hit a cash cow. They basically do nothing, and people go in and just funnel money to them. They're just giving away money. That's all it is. Here is a clip from ABC News in Australia that's talking about how big of an issue this is there. So that's what this is. Do you need to do something, Brett? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Crown Casino has more pokies than any other place in Victoria, but to play them isn't as simple as dumping cash in a slot.
Players must sign up for a card to be able to play. When they sign up, they are required to set binding time and loss limits.
The card tracks wins and losses, and if a punter hits the preset loss limit, they're locked out.
And end their gaming session.
It was forced upon Crown following the damning Royal Commission in an effort to reduce problem gambling.
We know it works.
Advocates agree. Tim Costello has been a 30-year critic of Crown Casino.
Their carded play has changed my view about them. The truth is that they are now the most responsible gambling provider in our city. Their social licence, I think, is intact.
Crown's pokies takings have dropped, but it won't say by how much. Pre-commitment has also been effective overseas.
We know that they're working, they're stopping people getting into trouble.
Victoria already has a voluntary system.
Get your card today.
But the state wants to make it mandatory for all punters on all pokies by 2027. First, it needs a design and holder trial across 40 venues.
People on Congress that trade on the stock market.
Dude, this is... You're right. I mean, yeah, goes without saying. You know what? I'm going to say this. I don't think they should be able to do that.
Yeah, dude.
I'm taking a stand. I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I think that it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Clearly a conflict of interest. But, oh, dude, I didn't realize this guy's last name is Erdogan. Like the Turkish prime minister.
Oh.
Same spelling and everything. Either way, he's Australian. That guy is Australian.
He looks a little Turkish.
But, dude, what they're talking about is they literally have gotten to the point where they're like, we have to figure out a way to limit people on gambling. They have to invent a new way to regulate gambling because it's become such a problem. So they're like,
fill out a questionnaire when you go in. How much can you afford to lose? $100. Give them 50.
Yeah,
they're all lying, dude. They're addicted.
Yeah, you have to set a limit that you're like allowed to lose before you start gambling. It's insane. It's like way out of hand. So now to get back to this whole iGaming thing. So I told you earlier we're going to talk about how much money they stand to make from this. This is just a mere like fraction of the amount of accessibility people would have if it was on their fucking phones.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is from...
Which, by the way, do you know what kind of numbers the DraftKings Life podcast is doing? Do you have any idea where we're at on that?
I'll look it up.
That's a good question. Yeah, Brett.
Is it on Spotify exclusively?
It's on. I found it on YouTube.
Okay, let me look it up.
So look it up on YouTube.
DraftKings Fantasy Podcast.
It's called DraftKings Life. Yeah, look up what kind of numbers they're doing.
So I just need to know.
But
how many people are watching that
here's some
podcast.
financial details of DraftKings. So this is from an article that I read from just a few months ago about their earnings reports that they released. For the first time ever, DraftKings also broke out its iGaming revenue, including historical quarterly numbers going back to 2022.
So it's live?
It's live in 5 states.
Holy shit.
So For the most
I am
recent
buying
quarter,
DraftKings stock on Monday.
For the most recent quarter, iGaming revenue was $426 million. That contrasts with $825 million in sportsbook revenue, showing the potential financial impact of online casino offerings should more states legalize them. iGaming is about half the size of DraftKings sportsbook business, despite being live in only 5 states that reach 11% of the population, as opposed to 25 legal sports betting states that reach 49% of the population. So they've done half the revenue of the sports book, despite being able to reach over 30% less of the people in the country.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's bad.
You know what is good, though?
Yeah. How the
Jakin.Off has better numbers than DraftKings
Let's go,
Live.
dude.
With the exception
That
of a
makes me-
couple... With a couple videos that is like interviewing at DraftKings ? 620 views.
Yeah.
And then they are looking for like mobile engineers.
Okay,
and
this
it's
gives
like
me a little hope
level
for
up-
humanity.
Level up your careers by starting at DraftKings has 186 views, and we have more views on
dude.
videos.
We fucking hit that a lot.
I mean,
a lot of
sure, we
times
just
on this
found
channel.
620 people that need to kill themselves, but
Yeah.
you know, this is hope. We have hope.
But yeah, dude, that's great news. Their profits are up at DraftKings, but the views are down, baby.
Maybe they need to hire Jakin.Off to produce some stuff for them.
I don't think they're gonna hire me after this.
We got better numbers than them. I mean, they don't have an
Super
option at this
stoked.
point.
Yeah, dude, at some point it's just about ego, dude. If we're getting more engagement, that's really gonna grind their gears, dude.
Exactly.
Isn't that insane though, dude? Fucking the level of profit that they're hitting in just 5 states is fucking wild. And you got to know that like once they get
Can I guess the 5 states?
Yeah, you can go ahead and guess. Brett, look up what states it's legal in.
Yeah.
Nevada. That's a given, right? It's got to be Nevada.
I actually think that it would be the inverse, because the casinos probably have a lot of sway in Nevada and would want to keep that illegal. So I'm going to say
Okay.
not Nevada.
I'm still gonna guess it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Nevada, Oklahoma, Delaware.
One of them is New
I'll tell you
Jersey.
how many there are.
It's 5.
No, it's
more than that now?
It is 7.
Fuck, dude.
All right, I'm gonna guess 7 to see how many of the 7 I got.
Okay.
I said Nevada, Delaware, Oklahoma, Washington.
Yeah, dude, you're having a hard time remembering states.
No. I'm trying to like think about states and how they operate. Shit. All right. Kentucky, Ohio, Louisiana.
You got one right.
Damn.
It's Delaware is the one you got right, and you kind of skirted around the ones that were also correct. Michigan, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and
New
Rhode
Jersey.
Island.
What am I thinking?
Yeah,
And of course, Connecticut is like, an hour outside of New York City.
Right.
I didn't say Connecticut. I was thinking it. Oh,
Yeah.
And New Jersey is
1 out of 7,
basically
I suck,
like
dude.
dirty
Sorry.
New York City.
You failed the tests.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't do good. But that just goes to show you, though, it's fucking like, it's everywhere. Like, those are all sort of very different places politically, I would say, which really speaks to how sort of big this business has become. I guess it's probably available to more than 11% of the country now. I don't know what population share those other 2 states represent, but my guess is it's below 15% still.
Yeah,
which is insane. They're doing half the revenue.
Half the revenue with 15% of
With
exposure.
15% of the exposure, and we're not even so. I don't want anybody to get the idea that there's still hope to stop this, because there's really not. Some people might be listening to this and thinking to themselves, but I thought that you could already do all this stuff. Like, I thought that you could already play roulette on your phone or play roulette
You can play
mobily.
stuff like that, but it's like you buy like tokens, and it's not like there's like weird little.
So what you're referring to are phone slots, like little phone slot apps. There's obviously gambling apps, that kind of thing.
They're like Pepsi points. It's not for cash.
That's exactly why we're fucked no matter what, dude. Because,
Well, I still have all my Pepsi points, so, dude, when it all goes down.
What about Marlboro points? Do they still do those?
They got to. They have to. There used to be people.
I saw a chick wearing a Marlboro jacket the other night, and I was like, "Where'd you get that?" She's like, "A thrift store." I was like, "My mom smoked so many cartons to get one of those, and you're just buying it off a rack, dude."
Not putting in those man hours.
No sweat equity these days, this generation, dude.
So, back in 2011, when sports gambling was still illegal, there was a meeting in a backyard of Austin, Texas, at South by Southwest, with some innovators there, and in the sweltering Texas heat, dude, they worked together on a plan that was going to revolutionize fantasy sports and have the way for legal sports betting. That was FanDuel. I actually have a little picture of the meeting that I found online. Where is it? FanDuel meeting. Yeah, let's take a look.
They started in Joe Rogan's garage.
Dude, yeah, here they are. Look at these guys. That's them. Just in a meeting. They're using like a shed as a fucking
vision board.
They're trying to be the business bro aspect of Pixar or whatever. There was a dream. We met in a sweaty shed down in Texas at South by
This
Southwest.
dude's barefoot, and the other one's got his sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
Gross.
yeah. They're all barefoot, I think. Yeah, but this is where they came up with the idea for daily fantasy sports and the loophole that ultimately led to sports betting becoming legal, because once they found that loophole, they started getting money, they started buying influence, they got it legalized. And if I was a betting man, I'd say that we probably doomed to repeat history until everything is so fucked up people can't take it anymore. And as with sports gambling, companies have already been exploiting a loophole for iGaming, which is what you just referenced, which is this method where people play slots on their phone and just buy tokens with no hope of ever getting any money back. They're non-transferable. You can't put money in, win a bunch of tokens, and then transfer the money back out. It's just a one-way transaction.
But you can probably buy a sick new screensaver, dude, with those credits, with those points, dude.
And I got right here what we're about to play is a little super cut that I made of a bunch of different phone app ads, because just like DraftKings, just like FanDuel,
we got a Jakin.Off original production company.
Yeah, we do.
Hell yeah.
They have some of the most insufferable ads.
Is that Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah, it sure is, dude.
He is not standing by us, dude. He is really sold out to the corporations.
So here is a little super cut for us.
That was his body they found in the train tracks.
It's the mobile slots game that gives you those authentic Vegas thrills, and it's free to play. You just can't beat it. That moment just before the big win. Play Quick Hit Slots, the free-to-play mobile slots game that everyone is playing.
What do you think Jerry O'Connell says to himself in the mirror every morning to get to that level of fake excitement?
I don't know, man. That's kind of what I wonder about too.
3 lines of cocaine?
What a psychopath!
It's gotta be just like, you can do this, Jerry. You can do it for your fucking family.
No one sees you as that fat little kid anymore.
But if I had to guess, also, maybe, I don't know. I probably shouldn't float this out there, but I'm guessing that some of the people in these ads have to have a fucking gambling problem themselves. You know what I mean? Statistically
they're on
speaking,
the hook. This is the bookie being like, all right, you want your
people,
debt relieved? How about you hop in this commercial, bitch?
One of the people in these ads has a gambling problem, and I think the front runner is Jerry O'Connell. That's all.
Dude, I'm going to start doing that now. People that owe me money, I'm going to be like, you will promote me on social media.
Exactly, though. Extortion.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's some more.
What do they call it when it's legal?
Doing business.
Yeah. Grind set mindset, dude.
Just doing business. Okay, here's some more of these fucking ads, dude.
Download Quick Hit Slots for free and get a 6 million coin bonus. Make every day a winning day.
Hi, I'm John Stamos. But you knew that. You know, when I need to relax, nope, almost. Yes, I play Goldfish Casino slots.
Your
favorite free-to-play mobile slots game with a watery twist.
I've got my fins ready.
Look, Fish, I work alone.
John, the game is Goldfish Casino Slots. I deliver the big wins.
I deliver the big wins too, Goldie.
Dude, John Stamos has fallen so far that he's even giving up lines to an animated character in a commercial, dude. He can't even be the star of his own commercial.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I also think that, dude.
Dude, fuck Joel McHale.
If I could go back in time and tell, like, 9th grade me, you know, around when the iPhone Touch, I had, like, an iPhone or an iPod Touch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you could get on YouTube on that, and I was like, this is fucking amazing, or whatever. And if I could go back in time and tell myself in that moment, like, dude, you know, actually in the future, the guy from Full House is going to be doing advertising for, like, the shittiest phone apps that exist that are made for this thing, I would be like, get out of here. Like, no way.
And I would be like, man, Bob Saget's career has really made a comeback.
There's no money in this thing.
Yeah, dude. Like, we're gonna be like, whatever happened to predictability?
Yeah, dude, it's just crazy. Like these apps are, for all intents and purposes, like
They're
shitty.
everywhere you look. All right, I'll stop.
But they're like shitty. They're shitty little, like, rinky-dink. I mean, they're not, because they're big money, right? But, like, you look at
No, but like
them,
a graphics intern. Like,
they
made
look
these. It looks
so
like,
cheap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're buying V-Bucks and you get your character a skin, maybe, best case scenario?
There's no character. There's no character. I'm going to play some footage.
There's not even emotes, dude?
Oh, right.
Dude,
Yes, you still have the
I
footage.
downloaded one of these apps to play. I'm going to play it next, but we'll finish this video.
Jackpot Party, the leading free-to-play mobile slots game that always gives you more. More Vegas action, more casino favorites.
Sophia.
I'll be there in 1 second. I'm texting my niece. Texting is so loud nowadays, huh? Take a game break. Download Jackpot Party and play for free.
Wow, Vegas is totally slaying. Mode, whatever.
Fab new casino.
Dude, this is my favorite one.
Is that Paris Hilton?
Yes.
Wow Vegas is totally slaying. With a
Now this I
fab new
like.
casino
Paris Hilton can
design
do
that
it.
will make you feel like you're living on the Vegas Strip. Secondly, we've got over 700 absolutely thrilling slot games ready to get your heart racing in our glam casino. And the third reason is the epic welcome bonus. It's so hot, it's on fire.
Life's a beach at ChumbaCasino.com. America's favorite online social casino.
So, dude, this is the one that I saw first, that exact ad with Ryan Seacrest, and it kept coming up. I've been watching some stuff on Peacock, and for some reason, this Chumba Casino ad kept coming up on my Peacock. And I'm like, what the fuck is Chumba Casino, dude?
Chumba Casino.
Dude, it does. It sounds like some fucking Costco guy shit. The Chumba Casino new sign-up bonus.
5 big booms.
Dude, boom.
6 million bonus tokens.
But dude, I was like, what the fuck is Chumba? What does Chumba mean? Why does Chumba want to take all our
We were
money?
riffing on
Because they want
Chumba,
you
like-
to, when you get knocked down, to get back up again and keep gambling, dude.
Dude,
I made the. We were literally riffing on Chumba for like 20 minutes before you showed up.
Hell yeah, dude.
Chumba, dude, this episode is called Chumba Theory. Chumba Theory.
Why piss your night away when you can hop on Chumba? you
Yeah,
know?
dude, no, exactly. You Chumba this, Chumba
You hit,
that.
you hit a Chumba drink, you slam a Chumba drink.
But yeah, man, people are fucking losing
all their money.
All their money to these. Like, Chumba Casino is robbing people blind. And I read this article about this this couple of people who they literally like play these apps. This husband and wife will sit at home with each other and have 3 screens with these casino apps going.
My mom would do this, dude.
Dude, it's and so yeah, it's like, even if we stop DraftKings from doing iGaming and like this kind of stuff, it's already a scourge on people. Like, it's
Dude, my mom's been addicted to this shit for a while.
a long time, dude. It's been around, and the only thing that's stopping that kind of shit from being as bad as, you know, the sort of situation that is unfolding in a place like Australia is there is just like a small degree of separation between your wallet and the in the gambling
or 30-minute drive.
Yeah, exactly. There's just like 1 degree of separation, and that's what they're trying to get rid of.
Right.
And dude, like I said, I downloaded one of these apps and I fucking played it. And it was.
And how much did Jakin.Off invest into research for?
I didn't invest anything. I was like, I didn't want to pay any money to play it, obviously, but it was like nice, dude. Like it felt pleasant to look at and that kind of thing. Here is a little bit of screen grab of me playing Chumba Casino.
Chumba.
Yeah, dude, we're about to Chumba out, dude. Get your Chumbas out, boys. Start stroking those Chumbas.
Ooh, a free spin.
Oh, you know, I went for the free spin first.
Just sounds like a Nintendo water level too.
Dude, they pipe in like casino sounds. There's like casino noise in this, dude.
There's some old guy
I love how there's
coughing
just
his
numbers.
lungs
There's
out.
not like a dollar sign or anything.
There's
just
no.
like,
It's like 10 million
what
of.
does this
It could be 10 million of anything.
It's just a random currency symbol they made up.
It's there's no symbol,
There's no
dude.
symbol.
It's just numbers. It's 10 million through 1 million. Like
You won
that's
$1
what
million.
You can win from your free spin, dude. Just like a casino, dude. It's just like a casino. 4 million. Let's go.
Collect? No, let's get another spin going, dude. Get out
No,
of here,
this is
ads.
like an ad for Chumba Casino, dude. The only ads that happen are other ads for Chumba, dude.
As you're
It's
already
like
on
porn,
it.
dude. It's just all cyclical.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fucking snake eating its own tail, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's a Chumba snake eating its own tail, bro. Yeah, but it just says fun online social casino style games. That's the other thing. They all refer to themselves as social casinos. All these apps.
Yeah, dude, you'll make
they're
friends.
A social casino, and I'm like, this couldn't be less social. Casinos themselves, like brick and mortar casinos themselves, are not necessarily always a social. Especially if you're playing slots, you're not doing a lot of hanging out. There's
I met
people
my
get-
side chick and lost $4,000 on Chumba Casino.
Yeah, here I play some actual slots in just a second. After I finish reading this ad, I was like, "No purchase necessary." Chumba Casino. Chumba's Casino so good. Jim Huntress. That's the one that I play. It just feels good though, dude.
Welcome
Like
to
it-
Gem Huntress.
You can hear other people win big in the background, but it's never you.
Yeah.
They're like, I know it's coming. I hear other people win.
Nothing. I think they do this. There's this tactic that they do that I learned about. So the thing with like a traditional slot machine, right? Especially when they were all like just on wheels, how it works is there's a certain number of slots on each wheel, right? And when you have a physical wheel, you can only fit so many
Right.
of those slots on the wheel.
There's only so many permutations, and at some point, someone's going to hit it.
But with these same thing with the video slot machines that they have in casinos that look just like this. They can add however many slots to that wheel as they want. Instead of being 50, they could make it 5,000 if they want to. And now you have 5,000 slots on all 5 wheels. Yeah, dude, it's like so rigged in the favor of these
What?
people. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's totally rigged. But they'll do this thing where the computer is programmed in a way to every so often it will show you like 4 in a row, and then the 5th one will be 1 off. So you will feel it gives you the feeling that you were so close to hitting. You were so close. And so if you just
That happened to me
going,
in the Vegas airport. They have slot machines inside the gate, dude.
They're like, oh, you here? You want them now?
Yeah, dude. And it's just like really sick and twisted. how these things work, and they're already they're already here. It's already happening, and we're kind of fucked. So I just didn't want anybody to get the idea that, hey, we're gonna put this cat back in the bag. Because, dude, okay, here's the other thing that I learned about. Even if you're not a slot machine person, right? Like, even if you say you like roulette or something like that, there's already a way for you to play roulette online.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Stake? Have you heard of Stake.com? STAKE?
No.
Oh, dude.
Well, you're going to show me.
This is going to be the sort of thing that we wrap with.
Okay.
And no pun intended. You'll get that in a second. But they're doing, the same thing that all these other gambling sites and apps do. They're targeting young men specifically. They're saying, hey, fellas, come in, gamble. This is what all the cool people are doing. They have massive ad campaigns with influencers like Aiden Ross. I don't know if you know who Aiden Ross is.
Yeah.
Aiden Ross is one. And then the one that I'm going to be playing you today is got a famous actor in it. And I'm sure that you'll recognize him once we see him.
Abracadabra, my bitch way better. My wrist out the motherfucker better. Fish parquet, I smoke on the face. Green diamonds, I fucked up my mother.
It's Drake, dude. Quality guy Drake. Well-known good guy Drake.
Has
dude.
never done anything wrong.
Never done anything wrong. Dude, he's not messaging children on that laptop.
He's not looking at the roulette wheel. He just bets on 16 every time on the roulette wheel. Come on, 16.
To be honest.
Dude, it's actually really funny.
0 and 00. What is that? This is Drake, dude. Chill.
I know.
You and Drake both love roulette. You and Drake have that in common. But yeah, man, they have this big partnership with Drake, because obviously he's fucking really cool and shit. This website, it's stake.com.
He's Champagne Poppy. I mean, come on.
Their headquarters is in Curacao. This is what it looks like. It's just like a fucking. This is an image on from Google Earth or like Google Maps Street View, whatever, and it just, Brett, you can't see it, but it's like it's an island office building. It's just
I mean,
really
I'll see
small.
it when I'm editing.
Yeah,
so.
it's really funny. And that's where they're headquartered at. But they partner with like Drake. They got some ad campaigns going. One of them is this video that we're about to watch, which
Is this the famous actor?
This is
it Woody Allen?
No, Drake is the famous actor.
Okay.
That was the joke that I was making.
I always forget about Degrassi. How dare me?
This is a little segment that they did called House Money, which is a funny name to call this because the whole accusation against Aiden Ross or Drake regarding this stuff, and there's some other influencers like on Twitch that they sponsor, and so these guys will all stream themselves playing their casino games, but the stake.com is giving them the money to play it.
Right.
So they're not betting any of their own money, but they're encouraging other people to bet their own money.
Of course.
And so they can't even have partnerships with people in the United States because this is like crypto, right? So
Yeah.
you have to you're betting not technically real dollars, you're betting crypto. It's the same thing with the slot machine apps. You're buying the V-Bucks, you're putting it on there, and you're playing. And here's a little interview that they did with Drake. This has some really interesting insights about the industry and about Drake himself, to be frank. Said, what's the biggest win you've ever had was the question for those of you listening to this.
Like tax questions. The biggest win I ever had, I was actually in Dave & Buster's. This is a testament to playing in a brick and mortar casino or a real casino versus playing on stage.
It's called Dave & Buster's, a brick and mortar casino.
Yeah, I was in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Dave & Buster's hits different in Canada, I guess.
Wait, what did you say?
He called it a brick and mortar casino. Is Dave and Buster's a casino?
He was betting on stake.com at a Dave and Buster's. So he's saying like, this is why betting on stake.com is actually better than going to a brick and mortar casino.
Because Dave and Buster's has kids.
Yeah,
and casinos don't have that.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. It's like basically him being like, I was in a Chuck E. Cheese. I wish Mitchell were here so he could do his Drake voice. I was gambling on steak at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. Maybe we'll get Mitchell to send a voice recording.
I love it when the parents go to the bathroom. Yeah.
No. I
now
think
we go
we'll have,
one-on-one.
Yeah, Drake's going to call in. We'll put the Drake voicemail at the end of the episode.
Good call, dude. So, yeah, he's talking about he's gambling on stake.com at a Dave & Buster's, which is, like, so sad, dude. It's kind of pathetic.
This is a testament to playing in a brick-and-mortar casino or a real casino versus playing on stake. I was getting this random girl to call roulette numbers for me. I hit, like, 8 out of 10 numbers, and I think by the end of the night, we had won, like, what was it? Like 30.
He said a random girl.
38 million.
At Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
So spot on, right? Because
Yeah, she was bowling with her family.
Yeah. She was
what
at
single
her
chick do you know who's ever gone to Dave & Buster's by herself?
It was her 12th birthday, and I was like, call out a number. Dude, but yeah, he says he won $40 million.
$40 million. It's crazy. The craziest night ever gambling, for sure. January of 2024. It was crazy. It's not even the word for it, but I think I remember getting back to my hotel. We were still winning. Like it was just the wildest night.
Getting back to my hotel, we were still winning.
I won it in strides.
She went to the hotel, dude.
Yellow.
By the end of
He's
it,
incriminating himself right now.
Majority of it was at Dave & Buster's, and by the end of it, it was like about $39 million, which is insane.
Who's the gambling goat to you?
What is that opening beat
gambling
from?
goat?
I don't know. It almost feels like Friday Night
like
Lights or
drops
something.
into some. No, it's like up tempo.
I'll go to who sampled, and no, they're not gonna have.
But this is him saying who he thinks.
Oh, it's Jackass.
The best. Oh, you're right.
No,
it's like a ripoff of the first 3 notes of Jackass before they drop into the.
Yeah, so it's.
And what do you know? There's a Jackass on our screen.
Yeah, dude. But this is him talking about who he thinks the greatest gambler of all time is.
To me, controversial take, but probably Michael Jordan, to be honest. That guy's like, he'll gamble on anything. I think I remember it was like All-Star Weekend in Toronto, and he had like an event to be at. And like,
and that was at the Children's
I beat him
All-Star
at
game
ping pong a couple times, and he just wouldn't leave the ping pong table. Like he kept just betting me like bands, like 10 bands, 20 bands, like just kept betting because he just couldn't stomach the loss, you know. He's definitely not a quitter. I respect him deeply for his.
If you're trying to convince me that Drake beat Michael Jordan in a game of ping pong, I'm sorry, I can't believe it.
No, dude, he did it, bro. He did it, and he won 10 bands, 20 bands,
30
bands from Michael Jordan in a game of ping pong. But dude, I think that what he says right here is so disgusting. Where he goes, he's not a quitter. It's like, dude, the whole
he's
point,
a billionaire.
The whole idea of and this is why you know that what they're saying is bullshit. Is like if any of these people cared about responsible gambling, they would, if any of these people cared about responsible gambling, they would have been like, we gotta cut that out. We can't have him saying like you should never quit. Like the whole like marching orders of responsible gambling in the industry is like them being like, don't chase your losses, know when to walk away, don't chase your losses. That's what they always say. But here he is sort of like inferring that if you do the opposite, you're the fucking GOAT, dude. You're the best.
Definitely not a quitter. I respect him deeply for his gambling nature. So yeah, I'd say Michael Jordan's definitely
I respect him deeply for his
101.
How does gambling online differ from?
I guess gambling at a real casino, like a brick and mortar, it's a trip, you know. It's a whole ordeal.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you gamble. Either you bring money out of your pocket, or you send money ahead of time, but it's less like spontaneous when you go to the casino. Whatever your line is or whatever the money that you brought, that's kind of it. You either take a drive or get on a plane, go. It could be a nice night out with friends or whatever. But I think gambling online is just, it's a wherever, whenever kind of thing. When I like talk about some of my best nights gambling, it's definitely sort of either within the comfort of my own home or the most unexpected places. And that's what I love about playing stake is like you could really just do it anywhere. I've gambled at a restaurant, I've gambled on a plane, gambled at the Raptors game.
At a child's
obviously, like
daycare.
the comfort of my own home is probably the highlight of my gambling experience, for better or worse. The kitchen is my casino, So I think that like it allows you to like have an incredible moment, like right there where you're at, or where you're most comfortable. Sometimes a casino could get crazy. People are like loud and they're turned up or whatever. But yeah, I love the fact that you can play within the comfort of your own home.
Well, yeah, that's all pretty depressing.
Yep. So, dude, that's why we're not gonna be able to get away from this anytime soon. But that's the end of the episode, dude.
Oh,
it's
right
over.
On.
So, sorry, there's no laughs here.
Oh, damn.
Nothing funny going on with this, dude. Just Drake ruining society yet again.
Yeah, check out all my socials.
Yeah. Go ahead and follow Dustin. He'll be performing at Chuck E. Cheese. No, seriously, where can people follow you at?
Just find me on Instagram. Dustin Slentz.
Dustin
Everything's there.
Slentz. Everything's there. Go see him do stand-up comedy. Go watch his clips. Like his clips. Share his clips. And comment on the clips. Those are all the things you could do. That's very helpful. Hey, do that for these clips.
Yeah.
Do that for these episodes.
Do that just in general. If you have
Yeah.
a friend who creates any sort of content and you're just scrolling by, just hit like.
Yeah.
Just help your friend
How
out.
about
Help
that?
the algorithm.
You know what I mean? You'll fucking.
We're all under the thumb of capitalism.
You'll
as
fucking
you say. Just
take your time to go on and place a fucking same game parlay.
Are you
but
gonna text
won't-
me that you saw my story but you didn't like it, dude?
Yeah.
I was too busy chumpaing.
Yeah. Log off of Chumba Casino and go like our posts.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Get Chumba off your phone. Quit chumbaing. Quit Chumba and start Jakin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Jakin.Off.
Fuck Drake. Fuck Joel McHale. Free Luigi.
Yeah. Free Luigi. You can follow this podcast at Jakin.Off.Podcast. And you can send anything at all to Jakin.Off.Podcast at gmail.com. We'll look at it at least once. Australians, let us know. Fucking
That's
hit
the
us up.
Jakin.Off guarantee.
Yeah, that's
it will
the
get looked at.
Jakin.Off. Yeah, hit us up, Australians. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, and on YouTube, if you're watching this, make sure you like and subscribe to the old Chan. We really would appreciate it, and we got more content coming to you every week. Every week we're doing depressing stuff like this all the time, dude.
Hot news.
So, yeah, just make sure you tune in. But without further ado, Brett, you got anything?
I just wanted to say happy 100th episode, Jakin.Off
Oh, yeah,
Nation.
this is the number 100 episode. I forgot about that.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me it was such a big day.
Yeah. No, I got distracted by the whole Chumba thing, dude.
Yeah.
No, we walked in.
I got lost in Chumba.
Jake thought it was episode 99.
You are a Chumba.
We were chumbaing too hard, but thanks for participating, Jakin.Off Nation.
100 episodes, it means a lot.
See you at 101 or 150, whatever we get to
I've been
next.
stroking it online for a couple years now. I've been doing it for the likes and the views. And you know what? It's been a really rewarding experience. And so
it's only going up. We got more
share the
views.
episode. It's the 100th one. We got to beat DraftKings.
We already have.
We gotta beat,
we gotta beat them again.
DraftKings Life, our biggest competitor, DraftKings Life. Hey, look, if you're looking for a job at DraftKings Life, come work for Jakin.Off. I can't pay you nearly as much, but it'll be way more rewarding. You'll
and
have
on a
way
moral
better
level.
time. Yeah, and morally, we're doing good work over here. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's the end of the episode. I love you. Bye-bye. You got to wait 1 second because we got to do an intro now.
Yeah. The life of Pi would be hard if I was gay. Yeah.
Isaiah, you made this?
I count to 69 when I play hide and seek. On the net trying to fuck with me. What you know about putting 100 on some kid with the net catching bumblebees? That's my favorite game at Chuck E. Cheese. Dunkaroos in my dungarees. I'm talking jive, I'm shucking sheesh. Yeah, pocket of gobstoppers. I'm still playing cops and robbers, putting money on hopscotchers, temporary face tats, calling them job pausers. Tormenting from Toronto to LA, making you shake like a maple leaf and believe our targets are not Dodgers. Jake looks like Gandalf the Gay, and that is not Poggers. Let me tell her, Tubby, it's a beautiful day in the hood, and I'm Mr. Rogers. Yeah. The life of Pi would be hot if I was gay.
You made this?
Yeah. I look at the tiger, and I say, lucky, yeah.